Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd have met with Ukraine's president in the capital city of Kyiv for the first time since Russia started the war 2 months ago. They arrived on Easter Sunday for Orthodox Christians with hundreds of millions of dollars in aid in the latest show of Western solidarity. Chris Livesay has more from Kyiv.
Good morning. President Zelenskyy had told world leaders, if you come to Ukraine, please don't, quote, take tragic selfies, but bring the weapons we're asking for. This weekend, marking Easter in Ukraine, Zelenskyy got his wish. After a hushed meeting in Ukraine's capital, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said this morning in Poland that Ukraine is succeeding.
Russia continues to try to brutalize parts of the country, but Ukrainians are standing up, they're standing strong, and they're doing that with the support that we have coordinated from literally around the world.
Support Ukraine has been begging for, as Russia now aims to pummel into submission Ukraine's east as well as the south, launching at least 6 cruise missiles into the Black Sea port city of Odessa over this Orthodox Easter weekend. A strike on an apartment building killed 8 people, including a mother and her 3-month-old. City officials say the father comes to save what memories are left. She was a great mother, friend, with all the best qualities, Yuri says. My world died, killed by a Russian missile, shattering hopes of an Easter ceasefire. In Irpin, the site of a brutal Russian massacre, finally, it wasn't the air raid sirens that were sounding, but the holiday is bittersweet.
This Easter has the taste of war.
Survivors like Daria had to celebrate for the first time without family members that were slaughtered.
Russian occupants killed my parents. They destroyed our house and then they killed my parents by shooting.
Do you have a special prayer for this Easter?
I want that the war will be finished, and I want that Putin will be died, and I want that all Russian occupants will be died also.
For Ukrainians like Daria, every U.S. dollar and every U.S. bullet counts. One Ukrainian lawmaker told me at the beginning of the invasion, the West thought Ukraine would lose. But the latest aid, especially that heavy artillery, shows their minds are changing. Anne-Marie, Vlad.
Chris, thank you. That is quite an Easter wish. We want to bring in Charlie D'Agata now to talk a little bit more about the meeting that we heard about and a possible ceasefire, Russian ceasefire in Mariupol. Charlie, thanks for joining us. Let us start with the meeting with the 2 secretaries of Defense and State with President Zelenskyy. What more do we know about what was discussed?
Well, the meeting took about 90 minutes, and there are a few promises made by the Secretary of State, starting with the renewed diplomatic U.S. presence here in the country. What that will mean, for starters, is day trips to Lviv. That's the city on the border to the west, closest to the Polish border. They discussed the package to provide $713 million in financial aid. It's a financial aid package for Ukraine, but also for some of the surrounding NATO partners that have been part of this war. Now, part of that means, this is important, transitioning to NATO-capable weapons. Deliveries of weapon systems, the schedule of those deliveries, we understand that includes the howitzers. These are long-range weapons because they're facing a different conflict than they were a few weeks ago. And they're facing a long-range conflict on the eastern border if they're needing these howitzers and the people who can use them. And as we understand it, some of those howitzers have already arrived and are in place.
And Charlie, what are you hearing about claims of a Russian ceasefire in Mariupol?
Yeah, so the Russian Defense Ministry announced that there would be a ceasefire, a unilateral ceasefire at that steel mill in Mariupol. That was supposed to take place around 2 hours local time here, 2 hours ago local time. As far as we're aware, and it's really difficult getting information out of Mariupol for obvious reasons, that has not taken place. And there's a Ukrainian official here who said we want to have safeguards. We want to have our own vehicles that are allowed in to receive some of 1,000 civilians who are trapped inside that steel mill. They also want international observers, and the reason why is because those areas to the east of Mariupol and to the west, well, actually it's surrounded by Russians. So it would mean, as they call it, a humanitarian corridor leading out to a place like here. Now, here in Zaporizhia is where the people from Mariupol come to first. It's only a couple hours drive in peacetime, but it's been taking many hours, many more hours than that. And they arrived here shell-shocked, starving. I spoke to one person who's been helping out with the aid. I said, what do you give them aside from love and support? They said they literally just want a piece of bread. They want some warm water. They don't really want a lot of food because they haven't been used to receiving that. And we've also been speaking to a 27-year-old soldier who's been on the front lines. And this guy is a DJ. He was in Lviv. 2 months ago, he signed up for the military, volunteered. They put him straight out onto the front lines in the Donbass region. They came under heavy artillery fire from the Russians. He's very badly injured. You think he's going to be okay in terms of saving his life? He said, look, I liked playing soccer. I hope I'll be able to play soccer again. But that is the reality. 2 months ago, this kid was playing, this young man was a DJ in Lviv, and now he's on the front line fighting the Russians.
Wow.
Really fascinating. Charlie D'Agata for us in Ukraine. Charlie, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you, my friend.